of Boot Camp 2, the EUS Grand Finals. We have some of the best players in the Boot Camp 2 battling for $600, their cut of a $10,000 prize pool. This is the EUS Grand Finals. These guys have battled their way through, and they are ready to put this final game away and hopefully secure their spot as Boot Camp 2 EUS champions. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm here with Antihero, the resident commentator of the boot camp. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. This is going to be a lot of fun, a lot online for these players.
Yeah, a lot of bragging rights, a lot of I did it first, right? A lot of cool opportunities here to stand out, to basically to not only to win some money, but show that, you know, we learned a little bit during this boot camp. Every single one of these players has had to play different roles. They've had to take on different responsibilities than what they're normally used to. The tournament was a full-on random role, random team event. So the people that made it through got through random teams, random roles, matchups that they were uncomfortable with. They had to deal with a lot of nonsense to get here. It's a best of one. These guys will have one shot to finish in first place, and then we'll move over to NA and we'll cast the NA finals. A lot of great players in here. I believe we have at least 2 Masters players, 1 Grandmaster player. These guys are all very, very, very talented, and they're very adaptable, right?
Absolutely. They've played up until now. None of them have lost. By the way, none of them have lost a game in this whole tournament. A lot of games to play, random rolls basically fill, and now they're here. It's all on the line. None of them want to lose, so I think we're going to see a bloodbath.
Yeah, and just for everybody's awareness, I personally balance these teams out to the best of my ability to keep it as random as possible with the teams and to keep the roles as closely balanced as we possibly could to really test these players. Hey, do you have the capability? If I put you on an off roll, yeah, you may be a Masters player, but if I put you on an off roll, are you going to be able to hold that level, that standard up? Are you going to be a total liability for your team? And a lot of these players, they're going to have to make basically the fight or flight choice. Like here, you see a Malphite pick coming out into the set right away, and you see a Viego pick right away. Some of these guys more or less confident than others, depending on the role that they're playing. So you're going to see a lot of adapting and flexibility, versatility, all those cool little illity words, while these guys go for first.
And you've seen a lot of these players. You've got silver and gold and bronze players even in this tournament step up and play an off roll at a higher level than they're used to. They have to play into, let's say you get a bronze player in the mid lane, has to play against a diamond player, and they have to adapt to that and make sure that they can execute on a higher level than they're used to.
Yeah, and for a lot of these guys, I mean, we've seen it time and time again leading up to this. You know, we casted some of the games in the boot camp Discord, and we saw scenarios where players, the nerves got the best of them. There are players that should be in the finals right now that, for whatever reason, when it came time to pull the trigger on big plays, big moves, they shied away because they didn't want to be the reason that their team doesn't advance, right? So there's a lot of stakes there. There's a lot of pressure, right? If I go for this flash play, if I go for this engage and I'm wrong, I might be killing my team's chances, and I never live it down. And these are the players that, you know, not only had to deal with a lot of just general RNG, general randomness, and play through these different roles at a high level, but they also are the types of players that if they need to make a play, they might make it, even if it's a little scary.
Yeah, oftentimes it's better to execute on a play that you're not sure about, and you know, as long as you're communicating with your team, they can follow through on it. And yeah, sure, you may not have the fancy, you know, 1v5 set play, but if you do your job, if you fulfill the role that is provided to you, many times that's enough. You don't get the highlight screen, but you get the win.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, this is the perfect the perfect moment for these players to have that feeling of value, right, in a solo queue style match where, you know, you play you play for the team, right? You may not be on your best role. You may not be happy with what you've been given, but you can rest assured that, like, if I try my best, these players are all going to try their best as well. Nobody in here is playing for money and is trying to lose. So while it might be a little stressful on these guys, I think if you see these guys play it out in a safe, calm way, even when they're off rolling, they might get through it anyways. A lot of these guys have been just kind of, it's like one of those, it's like that scene in Rick and Morty, right? Where Jerry says that he just kept crawling and it just kept working. There's got to be players in here that has just been kind of crawling through the different roles, dodging a lot of bombshells and bullets to get to these finals.
Yeah, and many times you may get unlucky and be against someone who's maining that role, and you don't know what you're doing at all. But you have to have faith in the system, in the team, in your communication skills within the game. And we've seen plenty of games where there's been a decisive lead to one team, and that gets completely turned around, flipped on its head, and the other team's able to pull together and use that communication to their advantage.
Yeah, I am really liking Red Side's comp right now. Very scary composition to face. You've got the stable tournament pick, right? The Malphite. We've seen this already in just the couple games that we watched.
Very
the
popular
Malphite pick. Yeah, the Malphite pick blocking. I mean, we even did during boot camp too. We did a whole tier list in the VIP. I talked about what champions to be played in each role during this thing, and a pick like Malphite can basically be blinded, and the set pick not so bad either. These picks can basically just be blinded into the role. You don't have to worry so much about counter picks necessarily. Just having a Malphite ult and hitting your farm will be enough. This composition right here, I mean, this dive comp that Red's holding right now is very scary if you're on blue. Yes, you have the set, but you have 4 squishies that can very easily miss position, and they are just deleted. And then you get the Viego reset train, right? Takes the Echo abilities, takes the Syndra abilities. These are all good champions to snag. The set, these are great champions to get a hold of if you're Viego. And it's going to be a really tough task for blue side to survive some of these Malphite, Orianna, Wombo combos.
Absolutely. You've got this Viego, Leona, Malphite frontline, and to back it up, you've got an Orianna who can put her ball on the Malphite. She put it on the Viego. She put it on Leona to follow up those engages and execute these massive AoE engages. And on the side of blue side, you don't really have a lot to deal with that. Sure, you have the brand HP burn for the Malphite. That's great. You've got the Syndra who can execute massive amounts of damage and get the set that can disrupt that engage. But it's really going to be a lot up to the red side. If they can execute this front to back comp, then I think they're going to be walking away with the victory. I think it's heavily favored.
Yeah, it's a very, very, very tough call, because on one side, like, I really like Red's comp. On the other side, there's a lot of skill expression here in these lanes, right? You've got the Syndra versus the Orianna lane. Both of these players, both very high elo players. I believe both of them are at least playing in upper diamond, if not higher. You have that matchup. You have the top lane matchup. It's pretty evenly matched, but Malphite into Set. Set's going to have a field day with the prio early on. The cheese wheel strategy is not very effective versus the Set, so Set's going to have full prio. He's going to have to basically escort his Echo through the jungle early on to not bump into the Viego, because Viego does pretty well in these early skirmishes. If he locks down the stun, he's able to just fight right on through it. He's a little stressful even for a champion like Set if he bumps into him at the wrong time. It's gonna really depend on how these solo laners play it out. You know, is the Syndra versus Ori matchup? It's a pure skill matchup. Both of these players have to dance and dodge, really tight mouse movements to dodge all these abilities and get that small HP advantage, which could transition hopefully into Scuttle Crabs. Bot lane, I don't think there's much here to say about bot lane. Yes, Leona is a threat to Jinx and Brand, but however, the Xayah pick isn't really the type of pick that you want to see with the Leona, right? Like, you want to see something that has a little bit more go in this situation. You've got the Echo. You're not really afraid of the early ganks. So I'm not sure I agree with the Xayah pick. Obviously, in this tournament, a lot of players playing comfort picks. They feel like they've got to pick it because, you know, this is the champion I know. But that lane and and blue side is very exploitable to the Leona, right? The brand. If he doesn't poke down the Leona fast enough, Leona's going to have a field day at level 6.
A lot of these games have been going late too, 30, 40, 50-minute games
true.
in this tournament. And I think that is favored for blue side. Since they have so much magic damage, they're going to be able to deal with the late game Leona Malphite engages just with pure burn damage, magic damage in general. So I think blue team, it's favored for late game.
Yeah.
But only if they can execute correctly and not get engaged on. That is the key.
Yeah, it's a tough order, right? The damage will be there late, but Red's always going to have this threat of just go, right? They could flip on a dime. Set's going to have to be the one that's controlling a lot of space. I suppose Echo as well. If Echo is able to get going and is able to get that Zhonya's on the map, right? He's going to be able to get some momentum. He's going to have a pretty good time being able to pick off the Orianna, a lot of it. But there's not, if you look at it, there's not many exploitable pickups for the Echo. So you have the Xayah who's always just going to ult backwards. You have the Leona. Echo's never going to want to go near this Leona. The only thing he might be able to get value out of if he snowballs is maybe a Malphite who's got to stack a bunch of armor. But here we go. We're about to get this thing popping off. It's looking really good. Yeah.
Finals for... This is for the money. This is for the glory. This is the match to end all matches for this boot camp. A great way to end it. I'm extremely excited to see how these players perform.
Yeah, they've all been hyped. They've had their lunch. They had their break. They're all excited, ready to go. It's been a really fun day of looking through these games and looking at some of these players and what they're capable of. Some really exciting matches. Like you said, every single match has seen. And the funniest thing about the matches dragging is a lot of them were just randomly selected in the act. So there wasn't much matchmaking involved. And I forget that I'm a cameraman this game. There wasn't a lot of matchmaking involved. I mean, we literally had the app random draw a lot of the time. And we got these games anyways that were just super even. It's been such a lucky tournament in terms of that. And we've got an early invade coming. Leona's thinking about it. The EUS standard, lots of confidence, lots of pressure. A lot of these guys have played solo queue to a reasonable level, so they have no problem getting out on the map and poking around and seeing what they can do.
Yeah, it's looking like both teams are going to go ahead and say, listen, we're not going to invade. We're not going to do anything risky. There's a lot on the line, and we're going to see that throughout this whole game. I predict there's going to be a lot of plays that could have happened, but both teams not wanting to throw their leads. Both teams wanting to play a more methodical game, and I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, best of one format's interesting, right? You've got the you know that you're in the money. All these guys are going to be leaving with, I believe, $300 for second. But they really want to get that $600 prize. Each of them are going to be on their best behavior, trying to get that extra moolah so they could say that we left the boot camp a little bit better at League of Legends and a little bit richer too from League of Legends. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
And a lot of these people, this is the first time they've ever played for any high stakes. They've never played in tournaments in any game, and it's gonna show in the way they play. A lot of trading going on in this mid lane.
Good little back and forth here. The classic Orianna versus Syndra matchup.
Yeah, the control mage matchup is always fun to watch. The electrocute damage coming out from the Syndra, but the Orianna being able to heal up with her passive pots.
You can see that early prio in the bot lane. This is the matchup to watch right here. You've got two titans in the space, two EUS high elo players participating in the boot camp.
Both looking to carry their team to victory.
Yeah.
And understanding that pressure is on them.
Diego's looking for something spicy. Has a flank. Very spooky angle. Doesn't get the stun, though.
Are they going to be able to burn the flash on the Syndra is the question. She just walks out. She's not going to have to flash out. Great absorbing the gank by the Syndra.
Yeah, really, really good defensive positioning. Spaces out away from it. Doesn't get caught up. Meanwhile, in bot lane, Poke City down here with the brand. Putting a lot of pressure on this bot lane. They've got the vision down. Up and top.
And that's what you were talking about with that Xayah pick. Not enough kill potential early to really follow up with any Leona plays, so they're not really looking for Prio in that bot lane.
Yeah, they're definitely letting it go. Leona's starting to loosen up as she gets the levels, but it may be a bad time. You've got Echo on this bot side, but he is pathing away to mid, so if a fight breaks out, he's going to take him a long time to get over here. Meanwhile, in top, battle of the beefs. Malphite trying to get that prio. It's going to be really hard for Malphite to actually get this wave under tower. It's not a great spot for him. And in bot lane, a full-on engage. They do find it, and that is the first blood. And, you know, we're looking at the wave arrangement. It looks like maybe Jinx got a little out of line. Is Echo going to be able to find the kill?
Wanting blood, he tries to go for Leona, but he decides to think better of that and back away.
And meanwhile, in mid, a play comes down. It looks like Viego is able to find the Syndra pick. Syndra in a tough way. Not enough mana to get out. And she does go down.
She decides to hold the flash. I think that's a good choice because she was dead to rights once she saw that Viego. She knew.
Yeah, as soon as the stun comes through and it's not, you've got nowhere to run. The play is dead. And just like that, Red's off to a really strong start. Syndra is forced to TP forward. And now bot lane, you know, the wave isn't that great for bot lane. It looks like Jinx is going to be able to collect some of the farm. So even though they did die here, they are going to be able to just kind of piece it together and play on the back foot a bit. That Jinx is missing all of her sums, so she doesn't really want to push out here.
She had to burn her flash and heal from that last engage, which is very unfortunate. That's going to put her at a very weak position for the next 5 minutes.
And Malphite's still struggling to get this wave under. This position all too familiar for top laners. You just want to back and you just can't. And Set's doing a good job of figuring out that there's an exploit case here where he can actually just keep the wave in this very compromising position. And if Echo finds his way to the top side, Malphite is going to have to blow at least a flash to get out of here, because soon, as you can see, every time that Malphite wants to walk up, Set is saying, no, you've got to pay the HP toll, buddy. It's going to cost you.
And Malphite's consumed all his corrupting pots. He has no more sustain left. He's going to opt for a back, even though he does not like the position of the wave. This is great for Set. Really good position. And hopefully the Echo can capitalize on that Malphite.
Syndra still not backing down yet. He's got the ward down. Is still very confident in their ability to play out the lane. The wave pushing back. Viego is not playing passive. He's constantly looking for these angles, thinking about how he can get behind and pick somebody off. Going kind of deep into enemy territory, but he does have the pink ward down. He's going to be investigating a little bit and see what he can find.
He's trying to find this Echo. He's trying to track him. He knows he's level 5. He's got a slight disadvantage in the early game against the Echo. He's been watching the CS lead between the two of them, and he's just going to back away. He knows the Echo is there, though. I do think he spotted him.
And Orianna encroaching.
Some communication coming from blue team. They're spot on with those question mark pings, saying, hey, I don't know who's here. There's someone down here though, and that person is Leona.
Malphite is en route, and this is huge because right now you've got a roam timing from not only the support but the Malphite, and the Malphite is very interested in this Syndra right now.
He has ultimate. He's ready for a fight. He's ready to use it. He's ready to do something. He knows he hasn't been able to get anything done top lane. He can't kill Set, so he's trying to look to extend that ultimate into the mid lane, but nothing panned out.
Yeah, it was kind of a walk of shame, right? He popped his head out, and then he was like, well, I didn't really get anything done here. Now he has to just go and collect the top wave. But the cool thing about this roam is that it forces Set to give him a favorable wave position. Let him get his farm.
He doesn't lose much, really,
no.
On that roam. He's setting a pace, is really what he's doing. He's setting a pace for this Set, saying, listen, if you're not paying attention, I'm going to go to another lane. And
here it comes. The Viego is able to find the engage on the brand. And here comes Set with the counter. Set with a big counter onto the Viego. Viego goes down. Jinx also is able to pick up the kill on Viego. Leona and Viego both down, and they're going to be going for a dragon off of this. Malphite is unable to match that. The wave was just too big under his tower. Did not feel comfortable following it up, so he did not. And red side bot lane does pay the price, and now we're evened up.
Great counter gank by that that set. Great TP usage. I agree with that completely. He shoved that wave in. He was like, I got an opportunity to roam Malphite. You told me you were. I'm going to do the same.
Yeah, it is able to, it pays some dividends. Launches the Viego into the back line of his team. Viego with no level 6, kind of an ambitious gank without 6. Isn't able to really secure that reset that he wants so desperately. And now, Blue is actually not able to take the dragon here. Echo is forced to base. And the dragon's still being held. Leona juggles it and passes it on.
Great play by Leona. She's able to zone off the Echo and say, listen, buddy, if you want to take this dragon in front of my nose, I'm just going to tell everyone you're here. And what happens? Echo says, okay, I have to leave. And Viego's going to pick up that dragon for the first dragon of the game.
So Malphite taking a bit of a beating, but nothing to really be too worried about. This is pretty common in this lane. Malphite's definitely the favored team fighter as the game goes on, but it is a brutal lane early for Malphite. Usually able to take a Comet into most of these matchups and just kind of roll cheese wheels. We always call him cheese wheel Malphite. Actually chooses to TP top. Not sure if I completely agree, but decides he's going to do it. He says, you know, I think I'm going to lose too much farm for this. He's not able to really get on the map yet. And Leona is pinging. She's interested in something soon. Viego being
trying to get that dive going. It looks like they might opt for a dive in this bot lane. This could be a huge play for red side.
Yeah, Viego is not letting off the gas. I mean, he has been active on the map. He definitely wants to say that he left this tournament trying to get things done. Is always fishing around for some fight of any kind. Gets kind of scared away, and now we're looking at mid to see if Syndra's capable.
Does red team see that Echo has started the Rift Herald?
There's a lot of pings. I think they have a suspicion.
They certainly understand the lack of presence on the maps means something's going on. Something's fishy. Viego's going to hit that blasting plant, and he sees them.
Malphite is immediately rotating down. Malphite does not like what you're doing in his territory. Coming down to say hello.
He's got flash. He's got ultimate. He's ready to go in on this fight. Viego trying for a straight up fight, and the Malphite ultimate.
Huge Oriole finds the set, finds the whole team. And now we've got basically a topside wipe, and that's going to be that's a disaster for Blue. I mean, not only do they get wiped, yeah, they get
Rift Herald alone, but they got called on their bluff.
Yeah, Malphite started rotating immediately, and as soon as it was spotted, I mean, you saw the pings coming down on the map. Red had a feeling. And this is the comp that I told you about going into this. It's a very dangerous composition. Blue does not want to open up on these objectives like this. And guess what? The action is still continuing. Oriana's trying to get something done. She is not letting go of the gas quite yet. She wants a fight. She's level 9 and she is confident. Terminator pathing right towards the Jinx. Jinx forced to heal. Still has the flash. And Leona going a little too deep.
She's going deep.
Play's not dead yet. In the EUS fashion, we have a Syndra on the move with no ult. So Ori's forced to flash though. And just like that, a little back and forth action. No one's rolling over to die in this tournament quite yet, as we would expect them not to. Right? They're all very, very good players.
Unfortunately, the Leona went in for a play, and it was the wrong play, just like you were talking about earlier. Sometimes you want to make these big plays. I'm going to stun this Jinx. I'm going to try to get her, and it's just the wrong move. You were just slightly in the tower range. Took one too many tower shots, and that's going to be it for you. Although the Leona decides to go ahead and roam around the map now. She's done with bot lane. She says, listen, I'm out of laning phase. I've got all the tools in my toolkit that I need, and I'm going to try to get something done somewhere else.
Yeah, this situation up top now has stabilized quite a bit. Malphite is starting to get a little bit of control over top, and here comes the Viego. This is very scary if you're Set. Very scary indeed, but Set is forced to ult out and flash out, so a very big win, and Viego is looking like he's getting caught here. Syndra's trying to find the play. Viego ult comes down, and guess what's coming? The Oriana is here, and she's thinking about whether or not she can find that ult. Great flash is coming out. Set is coming late to the fight with no ult, no flash, gets picked off, and Malphite's gonna be shoving top in, and Viego is not done, is thinking about a dive here, is pathing around the backside of this tower. And is Syndra going to put 2 and 2 together? She does. Finds the stun. Viego's not backing down yet, though. Is going to go right to this Echo. Leona finds the roam. Finds the Syndra. Ult comes out. Slow connects. No stun. And Syndra takes a greatcation. And Red is now running away with this early game.
Absolutely beautiful from Red's side. Really pushing that kill in the jungle. They baited out. The Viego was able to bait out, acting like he's going to get caught by that Syndra. She has to burn flash, and as a result, the Leona was able to come up, walk up, simply stun her, ping her teammates, and they find the Syndra pick as a result.
Yeah, and you can see down here, Xayah was getting pretty low, but there was no dive that opened up. So again, the rich get richer. Red extends their lead that much further. Dragon spawning to get a full reset. And I gotta say, Ori and Viego have been totally in sync this game. Every time a skirmish breaks out, they're right in that perfect shoestring arrangement. Viego and Ori just staying just out of reach to synergize off of Viego. They always find a good combo in this game every single time. Leona's coming in. Viego is following it up, and just like that
comes out from Brand, but not quite enough damage and not an opportunity to really follow it up.
Brand was forced to flash here too right away. He was very scared. The Leona's confidence is paying her dividends in this spot, because every time she goes in now, she's looking a bit like a wild card in this game, right? You don't know if what she's doing is risky or if it's smart here. And with the Viego at her back, it's going to be smart. It's going to be smart a good chunk of the time.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're going to gamble with these crazy engages under tower, or stepping in places that a enchanter support can't step, then most of the time you're gambling on a winning color. You're gonna hit red every time.
And Malphite does find an engage over here. Is finding the Brand. Brand with no flash does get picked off. And here comes Red team about to siege down on mid. And this game is becoming a runaway.
They understand they are so strong now. They have the team fight comp, and they're ready to team fight. They're grouping up, before 20 minutes even, and they're saying, listen, we need to end this game quickly, because if we don't, that magic damage late game is going to be quite painful for us.
Yeah, this bot lane, here comes the dive. The Jinx doing her best two-step impression. Jinx able to play the 2v1, finds the last auto, is about to get a magic double kill, and now they're not done. Malphite is rolling down the bot lane with the Orianna. Is Jinx gonna figure this out and try to get away? What's the play gonna be? The play still is going. Jinx is trying to sneak by the Malphite, decides that she's gonna go flash and heal, and is able to stun the Malphite up, uses both sums in a very wild survival. Here comes Orianna, it's not letting it go, and the ult comes through. What a ridiculous play. Finds the Orianna.
I think the Xayah wanted to time that dive with her ultimate, but she was a little too soon, a little too overzealous. She couldn't break the tower aggro with her ultimate because it just wasn't quite up. And she's gonna pay for that. I mean, you gotta be loving that. The Jinx, the Demon Hunter 135, the resident high elo Tryndamere player, clutching up when his team needs it most, right? Playing this off-roll ADC, coming out big in the 1v4 situation, coming out with 3 kills, weak side. That is a monumental error by Red here. Yeah, 3 dives, 3 people trying to dive the Jinx, and she's able to pick up 2 kills because of it. It was beautiful. Great kiting. Yeah, managed just to come out ahead in that position. A normally doomed spot for most. And now she's big because of it. So we've got a Jinx problem now. Is the Tryndamere main gonna have the game sense, the mechanical ability, the ADC awareness, right? To be able to pilot this champion through the mid-late game versus a very dangerous Wombo comp. Now, it's gonna be one of those situations every time that Jinx shows up now, Red team is not gonna like seeing her face, right? They're gonna remember what she did to them under that outer tower. Absolutely, and you have so many options for engage on this Jinx that that shutdown gold is going to be juicy, to say the least. Echo having to disengage. He's trying to go for a rift again alone, yet again, and Red team says, hey buddy, you can't do this. We're going to do this every time. We're going to make you run away from this Rift Herald. Brandon in tough position, forced to burn ult.
isn't able to get much damage off, and Syndra is next on the list, and this is a monster dive. And Leona
with
does
the great
go down.
engage, and she says, listen, if I am gonna die, I'm gonna take someone with me, I'm gonna make the plays, I'm gonna ult under your tower and follow you, tank it. If I have to trade out, that's fine. I'm a support. I could die all game as long as I get something done with it.
And now here we have red team finding the rifts. And you know, the funniest part about this game is that you've got these bans. I recommend a lot of bans in an environment like this, and I distinctly remember recommending Set, Diego, and Malphite. So a ton of champions in this tournament format, the best of one, that are showing up strong in this game, right?
You were not wrong. These champions do operate very well. They're easy to play, and they can execute very well. And the Jinx is able to get a kill onto King of Killers.
Yeah, the Ori goes down, and guess what? Red team is mad yet again, so they're going to go ahead and take the reset. Jinx is trying to get through this tourney and is trying to carry the team. There is a good win con with the Jinx. The problem here, though, is that she doesn't really have the kind of reliable peel that you want, right? You've got a brand. This is like the classic support problem. We've got the brand here. We've got the situation where if every time the Jinx goes for the auto attacks and there's that backline dive that comes in, it's just going to be a target fest, right? Everybody's just going to ping the Jinx. They're going to go all in, and no one's going to be able to really peel except maybe a Set R. I don't see anything else being reliable. The Syndra stuns, maybe? These are all very conditional, right?
Absolutely. You know what's not conditional is this objective control by red team. Just oppressive. Every objective is being contested as soon as they spawn. It's quite beautiful. They even without vision, they've seen this Echo, knowing just his presence not on the map means he's trying to go for these Rift Heralds, and they go for the red, and it gets taken by the red team. Set's gonna go in.
Yeah.
Wow,
Set
what
going
a fight.
deep.
This is messy, very messy. Brand ultimate comes out. A lot of health bars going low. People are wounded. Blue team coming out ahead here, and they're gonna. Red
And there
team
it is, just
takes
like
the
that.
Dragon.
And what a crazy fight. Yeah, what a crazy fight. I mean, now Blue just unlocked the Baron, and here we thought, the Wombo comp was so strong. All of a sudden, the fight breaks out. Set goes deep in the back line, gets a ton of damage off, and this Jinx, who's gotten just beautiful amounts of golden XP through that failed dive bottom. The failed dive is going to haunt red team for the rest of this tournament, potentially, because now you've got a Baron being taken in a situation that was pretty much a shoe-in for red. They had everything they needed to end the game, and they go for the silly dive, and now this game is going to get ridiculously messy really fast. A really exciting game for the finals.
Just as I say objective control from red, they get the dragon, but at the cost of their whole team, and have to end up throwing away the Baron.
Yeah, let's watch it back again. We see right here, red opts to take this objective, but Set finds this monster flank here where he gets right to the back line and opens the Leona on the entire team. And just like that,
ultimate by Set.
Yeah, just opens the fight so well for his team. I mean, really guarantees that his team has the maximum opportunity. And the other important thing here as well is that Jinx was able to just free hit, right? During that whole thing, she's able to just square up and fight the way that she wants to on her terms. And now we've got a team with Baron, the team that was behind through this whole first 15 minutes. They've got the Baron, and they're going to be able to hold until the next soul fight.
Yeah, the red team was so strong for this entire early game and the beginnings of this mid game. And now the tables have turned. They're at a 7K gold disadvantage, 6K gold disadvantage.
Yeah, this is really spooky if you're a fan of the red team. If you're a red team fan, this is looking bad. They do have a great Wombo, though, and you can only make these kind of engages, these flank TP engages, so often in a game like this. And here comes the Rift. They're not backing down. They're down 5K, and they are still pushing into this team. But Jinx is no joke right now. She's got a lot of gold, a lot of bounty, and she is going to have no problem clearing this out. And now we're going to see whether or not Blue figures out that they can push.
Yeah, red team popping that Herald just to kind of delay the push, the inevitable Baron push by blue team. And they're still going to have to deal with this. They know that. They do want a fight, but blue team being respectful and saying, listen, we got that Baron. We're lucky to have it. And we're ahead now. So we're going to play this nice, slow, and smart.
Yeah, this is a really tense position for blue. They have the gold lead, but the comp, it all comes back to the composition. You've got this comp where anybody steps out of line, instantly you're going to get removed from play. It's just how it goes. Every single one of these guys. Yeah, every single one of these guys. Even Echo, if he's not quick on the draw with his ult, he can fat finger it, and then all of a sudden, he's taking the Greycation. But you know what? As soon as I say that, there is a big dive going to the Orianna. And the Orianna, is she able to live? She does, despite a really decisive call. Yeah.
Incredible. She's able to live. They do lose a tower. Red team's on the defensive here. But this Jinx is just going to be oppressive in this poke damage. And even though you said Resonant Tryndamere main, he's delivering on and off roll.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, this is something that you don't expect to see. You don't expect to see the guy that mains top get dumped into a higher pressure situation and have to play a role that he's not necessarily comfortable with. And then he comes out swinging. Now, because of the dive, because of the gold that he's got, he's carrying his team. And Malphite shows up late to this fight. TP's not getting much value here, but now, guess what? We've got another dragon prepping, so the action is going to continue.
And this is Soul Point, so red team really wants this dragon. They're going to set up, and they're going to posture hard for it. It's up to the blue team to say, listen, do we want to just give them the soul? They've earned everything else. Do we want to risk it? Or are they going to go all out and try to challenge it instantly? Looks like the Syndra's going to be top lane, pushing that tower and punishing them. She does have TP.
This is a really tense situation right now. The dragon is spawning, and blue, I don't know if they're confident enough yet. I mean, they have the gold on them.
They know something's up. They can't see anyone on the map, but
that's going right in.
Death push at the same time, and blue's gonna get punished for walking where they shouldn't.
Ooh, but Set is a big tanky boy. He's able to survive. Echo ults out, and here comes the Syndra. Is Jinx going to be able to survive? Jinx does get the kill, but she does finally go down. The bounty goes back to red. A very strange decision to play topside by the Syndra puts blue at a very tough spot, because now Syndra shows up, but this dragon was already started. They weren't here early enough, and now they're going to just gamble to try to steal the soul over the wall. Are they going to be able to do it? Almost gets it.
But they almost got it. That was very close. Unfortunately, red team gets the soul, and this game is back and forth if I've ever seen it.
Yeah, I'm not liking the synergy here from blue. I mean, the composition, they need to be grouped together. They need to move together, and they need to keep Jinx in a position where she can free hit. If they can front to back properly, they can come out of here, even versus the soul. Jinx is no joke at this stage of the game. She's nearing her third item already. She's very, very ahead of schedule. It is a tough situation compositionally, but even with the soul, there is a possibility here for an upset, and it's gonna be dependent on how these next couple of fights go, because if blue is unable to synergize again, it's going to get real bad real quick.
It's also very difficult to run a front-to-back comp when you have an ADC like Xayah that's 2 levels behind, and she can't follow up the front-to-back. So you have to rely on things like Orianna or the Viego to put that damage down. But at the same time, you're doing that into a Jinx who can easily follow up if she spaces correctly. And the Baron.
So we've seen this situation before. The objective starts off. Set has proven that he's capable of making good TP flanks. If he's able to find one again, he will do it. He is very confident playing that bot lane. Lots of pings coming out. We see Blue's vision, and Set says, you know what, I need to TP. I need to know what's going on here. And here we go. Red has started Baron. Super tense situation. And Set gets to the backline again. And now we have a full-on team fight. Jinx free hitting Malphite. Finds a huge backline engage. Jinx forced to try to kite this out as best she can. Jinx is able to find more damage on the back line, on the front line, on everybody. Is getting a double kill. And this choice to force a Baron could be the end, even though they have the soul. It's looking terrible for Red. They're going to be losing Baron. They're going to be losing inhibs. They could very well lose the game off of this decision.
Set yet again making decisive teleport plays with an ultimate into the entire team. He goes into that Baron pit. He's calling them out. He's saying, listen, if you want to do this Baron, you've already started it. You're debuffed. We're going to go in and try to follow up.
Yeah, a very wild force by Red. And the biggest issue is you clump up versus this Jinx. She gets all the free autos that she wants, right? And we've seen Red is able to hard win a team fight. If the positioning is even slightly off, it goes right the other way that fast.
Absolutely. Great plays by this set. Honestly, he's been delivering in his ability to navigate these team fights with impunity.
Yeah, it's definitely been one of those scenarios of just TP diffs, right? Malphite has not been able to find a good TP. He's not been able to find a good engage. Most of the game hasn't been very decisive when he has shown up, and it's starting to bite him, right? He's basically in this last fight. He's in the Baron pit with his team, and Set's just able to clump up the entire Red squad and get the fight that they want. And now we're on the back foot, even though we've got a soul. A ridiculous game, a ridiculous turn of events. A team with soul is actually losing right now by a substantial amount of gold. They're up 8k gold with a Baron push.
And in the beginning of this game, you and I both favored Red team, and look where we are. Blue team executing these team fights, navigating correctly, and really being able to put pressure on. They see the trend of Red team being right at the objective when it spawns, and they say, listen, if they're going to be there every time it spawns, we're going to be late, and we're going to go ahead and engage and surprise them. If they're surprised, we can disrupt and get the better hand of them.
Yeah, and so far, it all comes back to this Jinx able to pick up that great multi-kill in bot lane. It looked like they were down and out, but this very silly EUS dive comes out, puts Jinx in a position to carry the game, and she's positioning very smartly. That Tryndamere experience coming in handy, knows where she can and can't be, right? Very familiar with the darkness on the minimap and where she can and can't go. She is getting collapsed on, but as you can see, Tryndamere's spatial awareness paying off big. Even if she's not an ADC main, it pays off big here, and she's able to draw the pressure and open up mid.
Absolutely, that is key. Her experience, or rather the Tryndamere's experience playing Jinx, knowing when to be where they can and when they cannot be there, noticing the pressure their team's creating mid, and to create the opposing pressure in the side lane.
And Leona's finding the engage right now. Echo's got to smash that arc. He does hit a big ult, and is Echo going to be able to get out? Probably not, but Jinx rotating around, very confident positioning here. She's gonna have to make the choice to leave. She has the very tough choice. How do I get out of this situation? It's getting chased down. Viego is not liking what he saw. He ults over the wall. He's gonna try to find the engage. Here comes the stun. Jinx forced to flash. Malphite still on the approach through the jungle. Bot side coming down river. Rocks are rolling down the river right now. We've got a Malphite. We've got a Leona. Malphite ult comes out.
From Malphite.
And there it is.
Caught, finally.
Oh, not so fast. The Syndra stun comes through, and Jinx forced the flash and kite out, and there is a 1-for-1 trade. A really nice QSS by the Jinx, and what a really well just mechanically played sequence that was by everyone involved. Everybody burning pretty much everything to get that Jinx down, and it ends on a 1-for-1 trade. But guess what? Jinx is not up, and the Elder's spawning. Is Red gonna figure it out?
That split push mentality of wasting people's time is great and all, but you've got an objective coming up, and Red has already told us that as soon as the objective is going to come up, they're going to be there. They're ready to fight. Brand over the wall. He's looking for these people. He's looking for any vision he can get on it. Unfortunately, there's a control ward by Blue.
A lot of pressure on Echo here. A lot of pressure on Echo here. He wants to get the steal really bad. He is going to go for it. Does he get it? Does not. Red does get the Elder, and that means Brand is down. Echo is unable to find the smite. And here comes a Malphite TP. Rock people showing up at the last minute. Syndra finds the stun. You guys got to get out of here. Syndra forced to flash. Malphite is coming. He has ult and he has Elder. He's not going to let this go. Finds the ult. and that is a Syndra Zhonya's, but it doesn't matter. Syndra goes down. The Elder, very OP. Jinx is back, and now it's Blue's choice. Do they have to force this fight, or should they wait out the Elder? I think we both know the answer is try to hang on.
Yeah, that Elder really paying dividends for this red team. They have shown time and time again that the Dragon win condition is the one that they're going to be playing for. Barons, they're trying to get them, but they've been contested every time. These Dragons, though, blue side not putting as much oomph into how they're getting it. A TP comes out from the Orianna. Is Orianna getting caught? No, the Elder Dragon coming in, and King of Killers kills the Echo.
Echo going a little too heavy. Going a little too heavy without his ult. You do not want to fight. I heard a lot of pings coming out from Blue, pleading desperately. Echo, please don't go in. Please don't force this. Wait until the Elder ends and we can win some money. That's what these pings mean. The desperate pings of save me my money, please.
Even with no minions, red team is going to siege this tower. They've got a Malphite. They've got a Leona. They got some chonky boys. Big meatballs. Look at this. Tanky Malphite just absorbing every turn.
This is no joke. This is no joke, and this is the comp that we talked about. Unfortunately,
this is the front to back we were scared of. This is what we were talking about. This front to back is so scary.
And now they're going for the end, waiting for the Syndra, waiting for the team. Set's got to get out there, does find an engage, and now we are defending versus Elder. Echo's forced to find it. Jinx comes up, gets deleted instantly. Syndra doing her best. The fight rages on. Echo gets one reset, or Viego gets one reset, gets two resets. Do they have the wave to end? Syndra's still standing. Syndra finds the stun. That's one defense. And Orianna says, no. This is our game to win. And with a very decisive flash from Orianna, it looks like that is game. Hitting the final tower. Are they going to be able to finish the Nexus's time? It looks like they are going to do it. Well played to Red. What a monumental finals game by both teams.
Congratulations.
That was...
They have all just won money in and some of them, this is their first tournament. And what a great execution of this game. It could have gone either way at many points, but the front to back engage with an Elder Dragon, just too much for blue team to handle.
Yeah, it's a situation where the objective control really added up quick, right? Jinx was working that split push angle. She got a little bit too overzealous with her lead. She was feeling strong. She was feeling tough. She got the lead. She pushed up a little too deep, had the whole team collapse on her. And it was at that moment that Red was able to finally get a little bit of traction on Summoner's Rift, right? To get out onto the Elder, get the Elder down. Echo unable to find any steals most of the game. Could not find a steal, kept getting in there, kept getting in the pit, just could not beat Viego to the punch. And then at that point, with the Jinx dead, no steals coming through, the set engages just weren't enough to hold him up, and there you go. It's a GG. And what a finals it was. Really well played.
Really guys, we're gonna take
we're gonna take about a 5-minute break, and we'll be back shortly. We're gonna be casting the NA finals. Congrats to Sar Patar, Nimbus, King of Killers, Power Schlump, and Cosmic Pulsac. What a name. You guys are going to go on. You're going to be crowned the Boot Camp 2 winners for EUS. Congratulations. Well done, guys. Good stuff.
I am sitting here with Sar Patar, ACB Nimbus, King of Killers, and Power Schlump, 4 of the 5 EU West winners of our 10K tournament for the Boot Camp 2. How are all of you feeling right now?
Cool, amazing, awesome, dude.
Yeah, great.
Were you guys expecting to win that game?
Of course.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear. Yeah. Talk to me about your ban phases, your pick and ban phases. What were you guys planning in the very beginning?
Good question. Well, this is gonna sound a little bit cringe, but whatever. I'm just gonna say it. We were planning to ban out the GM player. So that's what we did.
Well, it seemed to have worked in your favor in the very end. The first phase was looking pretty good for you guys, and then we had a little bit of a rough tumble there in the middle. Were you guys starting to get worried towards that part?
No. So basically, I was the team leader, and I told the whole team, how we're gonna play this out, and they did a really good job. They played around me. Everyone did a great job. I am so proud of you guys, every single one of you. You did an amazing job. Everything went as planned.
Yeah, that you were the Orianna, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that you were dealing out some insane damage in that game. When you were against with Syndra, another control mage, what were you thinking about the laning phase, or how you were going to maneuver around all of her CC and stuff that she has going on?
So basically, my thought was, okay, so I'm playing against a guy who's playing top. So he probably doesn't know what he's doing. So I was just pushing the wave and he was letting me do that. So I had the advantage. Yeah, I was looking to push Rome. We got a nice double kill on top lane. And yeah.
Who would you say amongst all of you was the MVP for this game?
Everyone was the MVP here. You know, it's a team game, so
everyone did a great job, and I would agree with him too that everybody was MVP. And you said that we struggled a little bit. I would agree with you. I was getting a little bit serious, but I liked how everyone kept calm. Nobody was panicking. We were just, okay, we messed up. Now we pick ourselves up and let's just stomp them. And that's what we did. We just focused. We knew what we had to do. Delete Jinx, and then the rest after. Play smarter, because we made a little bit of mistakes with Set. I mean, me personally, with some others, but we didn't continue with it, luckily. And basically everybody played so well. So I'm also proud of all of you guys. So,
that was an
well
incredible game to watch for sure. I was on the edge of my seat myself, watching the game go back and forth with all of you guys.
I agree with you. It was intense, actually. It wasn't just one-sided, like, oh, we're going to stomp them. Yeah, but no, it was intense. Anytime we could lose too, I agree. And I'm really happy that we were able to give you a great show. I'm going to rewatch it as well after this. I can't wait, because
my whole plan of how the game was gonna play was, I told my team, you know, just listen to my calls, and you know, we're gonna win this. And it's also so hard because you cannot use the chat, so you have to you can only use the pings.
But
so
I think everyone did ping really well the game, and no one flamed or something, and we didn't use the chat. So yeah, and I think our communication was pretty good. And yeah, our team fight and our comp was also really nice, I think.
Yeah.
Sometimes the Pinglish was kind of confusing, but overall it was great.
Also, I was like getting a little bit worried because of the Jinx. Like, she was like really going to, you know, hyper carry the game.
Yeah.
But luckily she misplayed, mispositioned a couple times, and as soon as I pinged, you know, my team just went full in. They all trusted me a lot in my pings, and it's also like really insane if you think about it. You know, like, they don't know me, I don't know them, and you know, they just trusted me like so much, you know. So yeah, thanks guys. It means really a lot.
I also screwed up at the tower dive. I just thought in my head like the play was already over and Jinx was like dead, and then I just screwed up. I don't know, but I think it was definitely the right play. So what I also wanted to say, I think the enemy team got Baron twice, and I think we didn't really lose much. At least not an inhibitor, maybe first or second tower. And what also was really nice, we got Elder Drake and finished the game basically, so we really used that well.
Yep.
For sure, I'd have to say that all of you acted like a cohesive team. Pinglish communications or not, however, you did great in leading your team. Thank you guys so much. I gotta get going for the other interview. You guys were all amazing. It was extremely entertaining to watch, and I'm really excited to see what the next bootcamp is going to have in store for all of us.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. See ya.